Sanibonani babukele emakhaya, igama lami uZinhle wakwaNgubane, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Gospel News SA, The Close-Up. So we are joined by the lovely Kamogelo here, who is going to be talking about her journey of living positive. Hi Kamogelo, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please do introduce yourself.
Yes, like she said, my name is Kamogelo Mashego. I am originally from Mpumalanga, but right now I am staying here in Gauteng, and I am positively living with HIV. Yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much for making time to chat to us.
No problem.
So I'm just going to go straight into it.
Yes.
When you found out you were HIV,
Yes.
how was it like? How did you feel?
The first reaction when I found out that I was HIV positive, at first, the first year I was in denial for about like a year. I was very much in denial because I didn't know much about HIV. I didn't gather so much information about HIV, and with everything that has happened at the clinic, because at the clinic I saw when the nurse was busy doing the HIV test, I saw like one clear line on the test kit, and then I saw one blurry line. So to me I was like, no, I'm not HIV positive, even though the nurse told me that this means that you are HIV positive. So I was in denial for about a year.
Yeah. So at what age did you find out that you were HIV positive?
I was 21. Yes.
Sure. Okay. So in an environment where you meet people, right? I'm sure it's not comfortable easily disclosing your status to people.
Yeah.
But when you do, do you get discriminated against? How do people treat you? How's the treatment once you do?
Not at all. I think as most people think that my positive vibe, like it's the thing that keeps me going. So every time I am always positive. So people don't tend to discriminate me so much. So I don't like get so much like that sense of being discriminated. Most people are like very supportive. Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's the thing. If you confidently come to people and you talk about it freely, it's easier for people to also,
to engage
with you. Yeah. So when you found out you're at this clinic, there's two lines.
Yes.
They tell you this. Where to from there? What happened from there?
That day, I remember going out of the clinic. Like so many things were running through my mind. I was like, God, can this be like the new life that I'm going to live? But then at the end I was like, I'm not even going to question God or question what is happening. If this is how God wants my life to turn out to be, then that is absolutely okay. I'm going to live positively and continue being positive and living positively with HIV.
I love how positive you are. The only thing I'm hearing is positivity.
Yes.
And it's so important because it's not the end of the world.
Yes,
right?
it is. It's definitely not the end of the world.
So how has your status affected your future plans or your view of your future?
At first I was very anxious about the fact that I'm not gonna have kids, because I had little information about HIV. So I was very anxious. Am I gonna still have more kids, or what's gonna happen with me? But after that I was like, okay, it's cool stuff. I've gathered so much information. I know that it is possible that even after living with HIV you can still have as many kids as you want. So it didn't affect me that much. It was just only that concept, yabana.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So speaking of kids, do we have any?
Yes, I do have a 10-year-old son.
Oh,
yes.
So grown. And do you, or have you had the conversation with your son about your status? How did that unfold, if you have?
Yes, I have. I've spoken to him about it. And at first he was like, he snapped at me, and then he was like, Mommy, why didn't you tell me at the first time when you found out that you were HIV positive? Because at first when I was busy taking my treatment, I told my son and my baby sister that those were pills for me to gain weight. You can see that I've got a very tiny body. So I told them that no, these are pills that needs to help me to gain weight. But then when I sat him down and told him, these are the pills that needs to help me to be healthy, and it's because I'm living with HIV, he snapped at me and said, but you could have told me at the first time. So yeah.
I know, kids are so supportive.
Yeah.
They're like, you're everything, really.
Yeah, and he even hugged me. He even hugged me. Like, that hug was so warm, and even up to this day, he reminds me of my time to take my medication. He brings me a glass of water. He takes out the medication and gives it to me. So
talk about blessings.
Yeah, I'm very blessed.
He's such a caring little boy. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm so blessed.
You are really, really blessed.
Yes.
So on the case of medication, I assume that you take 1 million.
Not at all. Not at all.
What is it like? Because I think the assumption is that people living with HIV need to take 10,000 pills every day. Is that true? And taking medication, how is that like?
At first, when I started my treatment 2017, I only started with the treatment that prevents me from getting TB. Okay. So I took those pills for 6 months, and then after that, I started with my treatment, which are my ARVs. Right. So when I went to the clinic, the nurses just told me, there's a new law that it's happening. So whether you are HIV positive and then your viral load is up or down, you need to be on treatment. Oh. And then, but because my CD4 count was stable, and then my viral load was going down. So at that time, I didn't understand too much about that. I need to take the medication and all that. Yeah. So, but right now I'm just taking 1 pill at the same time.
No.
Yes.
Just one?
1 pill at the same time. I take my medication at 9 o'clock in the evening.
So then that's it. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this thing of you take a lot of pills is not true. It's just 1 pill.
At first, they were taking a couple of pills, but right now they've combined all the pills into one pill.
That is great.
Yes.
So I think with the perspective or perception that we have of HIV, right? I want to know, what do you think people need to know or learn about HIV that is a misconception right now? That they think, okay, HIV is this, but it's actually not that. It's something.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to think that when you are living with HIV, it means that you are sleeping around with different people, and which is absolutely not true. There are a lot of ways that you can contract HIV. So if most people could just know, it's not only about having sexual intercourses or sleeping around with different people. I think we need just to raise or to educate people on that. So that's the misconception. Many people think that when you are saying I'm living with HIV or I'm HIV positive, that means that you are busy sleeping around. Your life is very busy, and that is not the case. Other people get HIV through mother to child transmission. So
that's true. That's true. So is that the reaction that you got from people when you disclosed, where they're like, we're busy. Why were you busy? And you're thinking, I didn't even do anything like that.
A few of people, they gave me that impression, Kamogelo, you are very busy. And honestly, I'm not that person. No, it's not even that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into more questions after this. But Makaya, we are going to take a short ad break. Please don't move. We'll be right back discussing the topic of living positive.
Babe, what's wrong? What's going on? Babe, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how to be a godly woman and to also find the right man. Boo, I feel you. Like Proverbs 31 this, Proverbs 31 that. We don't know which woman we're supposed to be. But I heard there's a show called The Bible Today, and they discuss how these verses like Proverbs 31 are supposed to be relevant in our lives today. Wait, boo. Gospel music say. Is it? Yeah. We can tune in together.
Gospel News SA is a subsidiary of Via Sounds Production. We bring you the latest news and events in the gospel circle. It's new season alert, younger, fresher, trendier, and most importantly, Christian-centered. This time around, we bring you more hard-hitting, thought-provoking, yet non-offensive content. Be sure to be part of this movement.
Welcome back, Kamogelo Makaya. You're still tuned into Gospel News SA, the close-up, and we're still chilling with the pretty Kamu. So, we're still discussing the topic of living positive, and I want to find out. We've got in school, right? We're always taught that it's HIV and AIDS, but those are two different things. I'm assuming. What's the difference?
The difference is that HIV is a virus.
Right.
Yes. And then when your viral load has gone up, and then that is when it's going to be the AIDS.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if you're not taking your medication properly, it will lead to AIDS.
Oh, so HIV is not really deadly.
No.
It's the AIDS that becomes a problem because you're not taking care of yourself as you should.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense. So, dating. Uncomfortable, I know, but we're gonna go into it.
Let's dive into it.
How's that like? Do you disclose your status to the people you're dating? What's the reaction when you do?
Phew.
I know.
When it comes to dating, most of the time I just feel like I don't have to be like selfish and not think of the other person.
Right.
You understand? So I tend to be myself and tell them, you know what, this is the person that I am. And if you are truly looking for a person in me and you want to continue with a relationship, this is Kamogelo and this is Kamogelo living with HIV. So I disclose at a very early stage that they must make their own decision. I don't want to make decisions for themselves, so I always disclose at a very early stage.
And then what's the reaction?
A lot of I've been in the dating game. But thing is, most people they still have that stigma. They rejected me quite a number of times. There were just a few of them that were like, it's fine. If you, as long as you're taking care of yourself, then let's do this.
So now, usually when they reject, right? Are they rejecting because there's no sexual intercourse, or are they rejecting because it's too much for them?
I think it's just too much for them. And then with the information, people tend to think, there's no way an HIV person and an HIV negative person can be in a happy relationship and have kids and build a family. So it's just that.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry to take you there. I know it's quite uncomfortable. You're just like, girl, don't take me there. So I want to know. We know that testing positive doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the world.
Yes.
Now, I go to a clinic, get tested. There's 2 lines on my test.
Yes.
What advice would you give to me? What advice would you give to a person that newly tested positive?
Like you're saying, when you tested HIV and then your results came out positive, it is not the end of the world. Your dreams are still valid. You can still achieve everything that you want to achieve. I've been seeing so much growth, even though I'm still living with HIV. It's been 6 years living with HIV, but I have achieved so much. You understand? So it's not the end of the world. You can do anything. You can still have a family. You can date. You can basically do everything. So that is that.
Right. But then usually the thing is, I don't know, most people that test positive, first thought is, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
I won't be able to live with this.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much. I think because of the dark cloud that people think when you're positive, it's because you were doing nasty things. Yeah. And it's not even that. Now, what would you say to that person that's just tested positive and they're thinking, I'm dying, I want to die, I'm killing myself?
It's really hard at first, because one thing that I always advise people, and even like the younger generations, if you accept this is the person that you are going forward, like self-acceptance is very important.
True.
You need to accept there's nothing that you can do about it. You don't need to question God. You don't need to blame yourself. You don't need to I always say you don't need to use the 3 whys: who, where, and why. So if you just ignore that and just start living positively and being healthy, checking your diet, and having a positive mind.
That's true.
So I think self-acceptance is very important.
That's true. I also think self-acceptance, self-love.
Yeah.
And, just make it about you.
Yeah.
And taking care of yourself, living healthy, doing what you need to do. Now, what is your lifestyle? What type of life do you need to lead in the condition?
It's just practicing safe sex.
Right.
Checking the things that I eat, and just being positive.
That's true.
Just being positive. If you're having a positive mind, you won't even be tempted to think negative about yourself and doubting yourself. So that is that.
So do you need to eat healthy food? No takeaway.
I don't eat healthy food. But in my meals, I always incorporate veggies, a lot of veggies. I always have like fruits, and I drink a lot of water.
Oh, okay.
Like I drink a lot of water. Even like an hour before taking my medication, I drink like 2 glasses of water, so that the medication mustn't like make me like drowsy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
are there side effects?
Yes.
With the medication? What are those?
The side effects, they are very different. It differs with people.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
So others would have rash, others would have like diarrhea, others would have headaches, fatigue, and all that. I remember in my case, when I first started taking my medication, I went to work, and then when I got into the office, I fainted.
Sure.
Yeah, that was hectic.
I know.
I fainted, and then I was taken back home, and then I went to the hospital, and I stayed home for about 13 days because of the side effects.
But now, I'm sure.
No, right now the only thing that I'm struggling with is tongue inflammation.
Oh.
Yeah, I always eat ice cubes. I know it's not healthy, but I always have ice cream in my fridge just to keep the inflammation in my tongue. So yeah.
So you're that person that's always in the fridge chewing ice cubes.
Girl, a lot. I eat a lot. Like even my colleagues would sometimes say, "Well, now you eat like a man," because I love pap. I don't eat your macaronis and your spaghettis.
So you're that person.
Yes,
that eats pap and doesn't gain weight. No, man, life is not fair. It's really not fair. Okay, what's next for Kamo? Because I saw that you have a YouTube video, not YouTube page, rather, and it's doing quite well. What's next for you?
Yes, I'm just focusing on that and just trying to raise awareness and educating young people and even my peers. So right now, I'm just focusing on my YouTube channel and just trying to get it to grow and to be recognized, and so that is my ultimate focus or goal right now.
No, you'll definitely do great, and you're beautiful, you're amazing. It was so great chatting to you. You've been so much a bliss, I'm telling you. Thank you so much. Kamogelo Makaya, you've heard it here. We did discuss the topic of HIV, but as you saw, Ukamo is living positive. There's no regrets or there's no questions to God or to anybody because of the condition that she's living in. She's happily positive, right? But yeah, from us here at Gospel News SA, it is RTOs.